So the beautiful and talented Jacky Oh, longtime girlfriend and baby mother of DC Young Fly, passes away. She just may have passed away from a botched cosmetic surgery. Today we're going to talk about Jacky Oh, but we're also going to talk about loving yourself without the surgery. Let's talk about it.
I love Brotha T.
How you doing? This is Terry Guy Wilson, aka yo boy Brotha T, here with another one. So I'd like to thank you and welcome to the new life tree, where we like to give you little pine cones of wisdom for your motivation and mental health. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel, you'll get it. Now remember, I don't know everything, but I might know a lot of things. Today we're going to talk about Jacky Oh. Jacky Oh was a very talented woman. She was one of the wild and out girls. She was there for 5 years or so, right? And she was one of the ones that you could always recognize because she stood out, with her look. She had a nice look. Now, what happened to her? She elected to have cosmetic surgery. She had a cosmetic surgery that's referred to as the mommy makeover. So what's the mommy makeover? So a mommy makeover can include any combination of the following: tummy tuck, breast augmentation, breast lift, liposuction, and vaginal rejuvenation surgery. Traditionally, the standard mommy makeover entails a tummy tuck and a breast augmentation. So, what price does a woman pay, especially when she's in an industry where your looks is looked at as the valuable commodity? Excuse me. What do you have to do to stay up, to stay relevant, to stay around the people, to keep your value high? The painstaking things you have to do to stay physically appealing. She was willing to undergo yet another cosmetic surgery just to stay at a certain level. You have to be careful about this. Don't forget to love yourself. Before we get into things you can do to love yourself, we're going to talk about this doctor. So we're not just going to blame him for everything just outright just because we like her, and so our natural reaction is to not like the doctor. No, we're going to look at a little bit of his history. The first thing you have to know is that he's not board certified, so he shouldn't be operating on anybody. I wouldn't let him operate on my dog if he's not board certified. What does that mean? Board certified. I have to kind of paraphrase and put it in language that I can understand at least. So if you're not board certified, basically you don't have your peers saying that you're good enough to be in this area. It's almost like networking, right? To be board certified, we've looked at your work, we've studied you, we know that you're up to par, you're up to standard, you're up to code on what we do, right? We regulate these things, and if you can't meet that standard, or if we haven't looked into your work deep enough to know you're up to that standard, then you're not recognized by a board of your peers or superiors even. So why are people blaming the doctor? Just because he's not board certified doesn't mean he did a bad job, right? But maybe he did. Because if you look at a lot of his reviews, he has gotten numerous reviews on botched surgeries. He's even sued a couple of people because they complained about not liking their surgery. claiming that he botched the surgery. So what price are you willing to pay to be what you deem as more beautiful? Are you willing to give your life? We all have heard the stories of women flying to other countries, getting these cheap cosmetic surgeries done and sometimes in backwoods areas of other countries, and flying back on the plane and they can't even sit down because because they just had a BBL. We've heard these surgeries. We've heard these stories. We've actually seen the pictures. We've seen videos, and it's getting out of hand. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a little sidebar to some of you ladies out there that are thinking about having some of these surgeries. A lot of men, especially a lot of the men that you respect, they respect natural women. Now, when I say natural, that doesn't mean that don't do anything to yourself to be pretty. That doesn't mean that you can't wear any makeup. That doesn't mean that you can't have a little bit of surgery here and there, right? On problem areas only. But when you start enhancing yourself to the point where you turn into like a Barbie doll, like a literal Barbie doll, then we have a problem. We have a full problem. This episode is not meant to disrespect Jacky Oh in any way, because she was talented. She was in an industry where what you look like actually is your job, right? So she was a wild and out girl. They doubled as models, whatever you want to call them. And she was an influencer as well. So everything she did hinged on the way she looked. That's why I can't really blame her too much. But to the average person out there, the person that's going to work, you know what I mean? The common woman, what do you need surgery for? Are you trying to keep up with these people? It's not your job to look like that. No, I'm not saying don't look nice, right? When we talk about being natural, that doesn't mean you have to have a fade, right? That doesn't mean that you have to have short hair necessarily. That doesn't mean that you can't get extensions and weaves at times. We just want it to be in a natural style. We don't want it to be so obvious. I seen a young lady the other day, true story, hair was black, right? And you couldn't tell what was the weave and what was the hair, which is a good thing, right? In the front or on the top, right? You could tell. I don't know anything about it, but you could tell. You couldn't tell up here, which was a good thing. But in the back, she had a red track. You hear me? A red piece of weave. And I saw the track. It wasn't put in any kind of fashion where where it blended in. It's like a red track in the back. It was the most disgusting looking thing I've ever seen in my life. And let me tell you, I am not a stickler for those things. I don't judge too harshly, but that I wouldn't let my daughter, I wouldn't let my wife, I wouldn't let my female worst enemy walk out the door like that. It was atrocious. Let's get back to the story. So Jacky Oh, after this surgery, she had complications and she ended up tragically passing away. She had 3 kids with DC Young Fly. DC Young Fly, who I'm sure was devastated. He was with her for a long time. They had multiple kids. He released a statement. He says, "We thank everyone for their well wishes and ask for privacy during this difficult time." And I'm sure it is a very difficult time. There is not too many things that we experience in this life that's worse than losing a loved one, especially somebody that is dearly thought of, somebody that you're not contentious with. And as far as I know, they weren't very contentious. So we give props to DC Young Fly for getting his kids through this time. I'm sure you're a rock for your young ones. Let's transition the show and let's talk about you. So what price are you willing to pay to be like this person or like that person? You see this IG models, you think they're winning. A lot of y'all don't know that IG models, they double as, they how can I put it? Whoas. They double his whoas. Yoda.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
And this is one thing that I always thought was interesting, because when you talk to certain young ladies, they'll say stuff like, well, that's what y'all want. That's what y'all keep telling us y'all want. No. You have to understand the nature of men. We like good looking women, right? Physically attractive. We have certain features that we like. Yeah, I did this. We have certain features that we like. I don't care what man you're talking to, as long as he's a straight man, he'll tell you that we like certain things. It doesn't matter. You can be 500 pounds. He can say, baby, you're beautiful. There's no other women in the world, and I don't want anybody but you. And then when you leave his sight, he like, but I mean, I would like you more. Oh, okay, I'm being ridiculous at this point. So, and by the way, when he told her that, guess what? Maury.
A lie detector determined that was a lie.
So let's dive into this a little bit deeper. So when in a man's nature, he's gonna always be naturally attracted to that. Just like, and we're talking most, there's always exceptions, but there's not many exceptions. I don't care what men tell you. Okay, they'll tell you anything to get you in that bed. Trust me. Just like on the other side, with a lot of women, they are naturally attracted to tall, handsome men, sometimes even dark men, right? You get it? So just like women, don't get too upset if men just naturally are attracted to that. Even though you might not be exactly that, that does not mean a man's not attracted to you. That's not what I'm saying. But understand, naturally, that's what we're attracted to. Just like you're attracted to a tall, muscular man, right? We can't get mad if we're short. You know, get mad at you for liking what you're liking in a natural state. But these IG models, they exaggerate it. Is the problem. So let me get back to it, which is, if a man likes the IG model's page, or he goes on the page and he's thirsting after, he's sending these messages, he's in the inbox, right? That does not mean that he really wants her long term. Now, some simps might go ahead and rock with her long term, but the average man, he want to get in where he fits in. If you know what I mean, he wants to get in where he fits in. You know, whatever happens, and he's sliding back out. That does not mean he wanted them. So if you want to be that, go ahead. You know, get those type surgeries, look that way, and maybe you'll get that reaction from the man, right? And it's going to be temporary. So if you're looking for that, have fun, have at it. However, if you want a long-term, lasting, meaningful relationship, what you want to do, yes, you want to be appealing, but you want to look natural. You don't have to exaggerate anything. Hit the gym. Oh man. Okay. I'm going to get a lot of flack for that one, right? Everybody's going to jump on me and beat me over the head and tell me that everybody is not shaped the same. That's true. But understand, when I say hit the gym, what I mean is you don't have to be a gym rat, right? I hit the gym, right? I still have work to do, right? Some people are going to look at this and be like, bro, you not skinny, right? I know this, but I'm there. I'm making the effort. And that's what I'm saying, that if you do that, if you make the effort and you tone yourself, you're going to have women who are taller. They're going to be thicker a lot of times. But if you're thick for no reason, if you know what I mean, if you're hanging out everywhere, you know, I'm not going to judge you today. However, you kind of want to get that on track. Do you want to stay that way forever? Does it make you feel good? Be honest. Does it make you feel good? If it doesn't, then you know what you got to do. All right. So at the end of the day, can you get yourself to a better physical condition without surgery? My answer is yes. There's some cosmetic surgeries, like if you're having certain things going on with your face, if it's not making you deformed in any kind of way, then you might want to see if there's a natural remedy to that situation. You know, this is a touchy subject because, you know, you can't really tell people what to do with their bodies. But I'm just telling you, especially if you're a woman, what men are really attracted to, real men, right? What they're attracted to. You're going to get some men, like I said, just like the IG model exception. There are going to be men that are going to be attracted to IG models. Yes, right, because it looks a certain way, especially when it's on a picture or a screen. But trust me, there's not many IG models that are really getting married. If you look at the numbers, you're going to see a lot of single IG models. So if you want that life, do what you got to do. What are things that you can do if you love yourself to make yourself feel better and even look better at times? One thing you can do is, surprise, surprise, eat better. Now, if you want help in eating better, there's all types of nutritional information out there that you can get a hold to. Your man, Brotha T, I do this thing where I drink mostly water for my liquids, right? I don't really drink pop. I don't really drink juice. Now, there are times of the year where I might pick up a juice. I might pick up a pop, whatever, or some people call it soda, right? I might do that from time to time. But if I do it, maybe it's once a month, maybe it's once every 2 months. And I do this for multiple reasons. For one reason, it cleans you out, right? Because you don't realize, if you take a bottle or a can of Coke, we're talking Coca-Cola, and open your car, right? Especially if you got that crud and that corrosion across the battery. And a lot of you men know what I'm about to say, right? So you grab that Coca-Cola, just pour it on your battery and watch that corrosion melt off. And then what I want you to do, I want you to really pay attention to that. Look at that Coke bottle again and think to yourself, I put this in my body. And that'll give you the perspective on what I'm trying to say. You don't realize what you're taking into your body sometimes. I'm not shaming you. If you like Coke, drink Coke, but understand what it is. If you want to know what it is, use that trick, right? Or just take it and drink it really fast, right? Well, let me not suggest you do that. I don't want people contacting me like, Brotha T, I got sick because of you. But you get what I'm saying. If you eliminate some of those things, then that helps you in a healthy way. Also, that water has 0 calories, and you all know that a certain amount of calories makes a pound. So if you're cutting calories every day by drinking water instead of pop, you're taking 0 calories instead of, let's say a bottle is 300 calories, for instance. Start looking at the calories on the back of these bottles and you'll see what I'm saying. 0 calories versus 300 calories. Just over 3,600 calories, maybe I'm a little bit off, makes a pound. So 300 calories, if you eliminate, let's say you drink 2 pops a day, that's 600 calories, right? And now you're drinking water instead of those 2 pops a day, you're eliminating 600 calories a day, just that alone. If you remove 600 calories a day the whole week, that translates into 4,200 calories that you cut just in drinking water instead of that Mountain Dew or that Sprite. Do you get what I'm saying? And Sprite's not bad, by the way, but you get what I'm saying? You can cut it just by that. Before you know it, you'll lose a pound a week just by making one little adjustment in your diet. What else can you do with your diet? You can eat different, right? So what else can you do to eat different? Your man, Brotha T, I don't eat pork. Pork is high in saturated fat, right? That's terrible. Some people don't think it's a clean animal. They don't think it's kosher, so they don't eat it because of if you're Islamic, you won't touch it, right? I don't eat pork. Mainly it's no religious reason, but it makes my body feel better when I'm not around it. It seemed to be so salty and nasty to me. I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset people that eat a lot of pork. I'm just saying it wasn't for me. Whatever's for you, for you. So I cut pork out. I limited my beef, right? So I barely eat beef as well. If I do eat beef, maybe it's a hamburger here and there. Maybe. I don't eat steak. I don't eat What else? Beef roast, I might. Because it smells so good when you walk past the nicely cooked beef roast. And if it's tender and it's not too chunky, I'll definitely take part in a well-cooked roast. So for the most part, what am I eating? Chicken, turkey. Is that perfect? No, but that's what I like. And I eat turkey a lot because turkey is leaner. It's leaner than beef. So a lot of times if you want to do something, and this is a little trick out there for those that want to make their lives just a little more healthy, you can start cooking with ground turkey instead of ground beef. And you're going to say, well, it's not going to taste the same. No, actually, I like to taste better because it removes a lot of the grease. It's leaner. When you cook it without that grease and then you eat it, you get more of that natural. It tastes more natural and everything. The difference is you might have to season the turkey, well enough to your taste. Okay? So we did that. So cut it out water, right? If you want to try that, just try it. Now, the first couple of days you do the all water thing, I'm going to warn you that you are going to go number one frequently for the first, I would say, 3 to 4 days. After a week, your body's going to adjust to it and you're not going to go as frequently. And before you know it, if you crazy enough to do it like me for months at a time, then you're gonna notice no real difference other than your body's gonna function better and you're gonna have more energy throughout the day. Just listen to the energy I have right now, and I'm telling you, I woke up hours and hours ago and I'm still going. It's like the Energizer Bunny. I hardly ever really get tired. Well, yeah, when I get sleepy, that's when I get tired. I don't get tired, sit down and get sleepy. When I sit down, I just sleep. I know that sounds a little strange to some of you, but it's the actual truth. What else can you do to love yourself? You can teach yourself a skill. There's few things in this world more uplifting than learning a new skill. When you're highly skilled and you take to new skills very easily, like myself, when you make another accomplishment, or if you hone your craft just a little bit more, or if you learn something new that you didn't know before, especially if it can make you money in the long run, this is a euphoric feeling, right? And you can take yourself out of trying to fit in with what everybody else is trying to do. You won't think about IG models. If you're a woman out there, a lady, and you start a business and that business starts to boom to the point where you almost have more customers than you can handle, you're not going to be thinking about a BBL. You're not going to be thinking about, IG models and getting lipo and all this other stuff. You're not going to think about it. You're not going to have time to do that mess. Maybe every now and then on the weekend, you're going to, if you work hard, sometimes you're gonna play hard. We understand that, but your whole life doesn't have to be IG model-ish. Is it model-esque or model-ish? I don't know. You get what I'm saying. This is your man, Brotha T. My condolences to the family of Jacky Oh. My condolences to DC Young Fly, and my condolences to the Wild and Out family, my man Nick Cannon and all that. So this is your man, Brotha T, and I will catch you on the next episode. Peace. I am out of here. Love yourself, man. You don't need that surgery yet. Calm